Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 94 days away from its official release by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Episode 9 is that yes, we do know that we got the official teaser trailer a couple of months ago over at Star Wars Celebration, and since then, a lot of fans have really been looking forward to the third and final trailer of Episode 9 that's going to provide new looks of Kylo Ren, Luke, Rey, Palpatine, and more. That's also going to give the fans a better sense of the tone of this movie and exactly where J.J. Abrams is going to bring the fans. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this movie when it all comes down to various shot descriptions of the upcoming third and final trailer. This is where things begin to get very intense for Episode 9. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that Rey and Kylo Ren are sprinting toward each other with their lightsabers ignited on a strange ship that is said to belong to the First Order. As they get closer to each other, it's said that the camera gets closer to Rey and Kylo before they are set to lift up in mid-air, where they are both floating inside of the ship. The scenery is said to mimic the angles used for the film Inception, and that this is due to the gravity generators being damaged. One of the sequences is also said to involve a moment in which Rey and Kylo Ren clash their sabers while in mid-air, and that Kylo is wearing his helmet during the scene. The next describes a sequence in which Rey is said to be walking through a series of catacombs, while her blue saber is ignited to provide light as she makes her way through the tunnels. As this happens, the past voices of Anakin Skywalker, Yoda, Kenobi, Luke, Leia, and even Darth Vader can be heard in the distance, where Rey eventually is said to discover a strange glowing device that she picks up and holds in her hand. As this happens, the dialogue of Palpatine is said to tune in, talking about the beyond and its power. The last describes a scene in which Luke Skywalker is said to be portrayed by a de-aged Mark Hamill on a planet full of trees, where it's said to zoom in on Luke's face just before he ignites his green lightsaber blade. So let's go over a couple of parts about this and as to why this seems like a very inspiring piece by J.J. Abrams and what he's really trying to put together. So, first things first, we do know that this movie is going to be a very dark Star Wars film, but at the same exact time, it's going to be a very heartwarming movie when it comes to the characters of Luke and Leia and how they're going to be utilized in this film. So, the first piece I want to go over most likely refers to the zero-gravity lightsaber duel that we actually talked about, where the gravity generators are actually disabled inside of Kylo Ren's Ravager ship, where both Rey and Kylo Ren are said to be floating in mid-air, literally fighting each other to the death while Kylo Ren's wearing his helmet. So, to me, that could and maybe, just allude to what we saw in the poster that was unveiled a couple of weeks ago, where we do see Rey and Kylo Ren fighting each other on a metallic cylindrical object. We're still not quite sure what that really is. It could be a part of the Death Star 2, or it could also be a part of this ship that we're talking about. But in that poster, you do see him wearing his helmet once again, fighting Rey. Now, the other piece that I do want to go over that really intrigues me a lot is how Rey is actually said to be traveling through a series of catacombs while she's using the blue lightsaber that once belonged to Luke and Anakin Skywalker. Now, this is to provide light as she makes her way through the tunnels, and as this happens, we hear the voices of Anakin, Yoda, Kenobi, Luke, Leia, and even Darth Vader. Basically, everybody that had somewhat of a connection to the Skywalker saber. And what I like so much about that is that it really is showing us that they're trying to do something great for the Skywalker lightsaber. They're really trying to really make it a very memorable object in the Star Wars universe and to not let the fans forget about it, which is great. I think the fact that, it was destroyed in The Last Jedi and now it's fixed and has a slight redesign in Episode 9 is a big deal as well. Now, with that being said, the other piece that I think is really going to blow fans away is the de-aged Mark Hamill sequence as a far younger Luke Skywalker. Now, Luke Skywalker, by the way, there are going to be flashbacks in this movie where Luke appears just as he did in Return of the Jedi. That's literally what they're trying to do in Episode 9. And in this scene, it's actually said to zoom in on his face, and he ignites his green lightsaber blade on a planet full of woods, which may or may not be the forest moon of Endor. We'll have to wait and see, but this is also going to connect most likely to what we went over not too long ago about Luke Skywalker training a younger version of Leia at the very beginning of Episode 9 in some way, shape, or form. So, we do know that they're trying to do amazing things with the Luke and Leia in The Rise of Skywalker. They're trying to do pretty, big things for the fans. That's gonna be very unexpected and surprising for people coming out of The Last Jedi and coming out of Solo, a Star Wars story. Disney and Lucasfilm want to do something completely incredible with, of course, this film to really accomplish something that has never been done in a Star Wars film before. So, de-aging Mark Hamill as if he looked just as he did in Return of the Jedi almost reminds me of what they did with Rogue One, a Star Wars story for Leia. And of course, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, at the very end, we do see a young Leia. It almost reminds me of that. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.